it is different in that every 4 missions, it's going to change up the trait requirements. So in the first batch of 4 missions, it will require gear tier 14.
Okay.
In the second batch of missions, it's going to require gear tier 14 and the global trait.
Okay, cool.
The third batch will require gear tier 14 and the cosmic trait.
All right.
And the final batch of 4 missions will require gear tier 14 and the city trait.
You guys are monsters! Monsters! How's it going, everyone? It is Panther Vision. Now, first off, I want to say congratulations to everyone who got their Star-Lord. I remember when Star-Lord first came into the game, the tech-heavy team was Vision, Star-Lord, and Rocket, and I remember bringing those 3 into the arena and absolutely destroying everything. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out Cerebro's most recent Strike video, you guys really should. I'll leave a link in the description below. But a lot of the stuff we're talking about in this video came from there. Plus, it was really cool. They brought a whole bunch of game developers on. It was really sweet. You guys should check it out when you get a chance. Which brings us to our main topic, guys.
Dark Dimension.
So if you guys didn't know, we're getting another chapter to Dark Dimension, and it includes the city, global, and cosmic trait. So what I did is I created an infographic for you guys where I break down all of the characters that powered up to tier 14 and level 75. It's looking pretty scary, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover all of that in this video. But before we do that, guys, if I can get you to like and subscribe to the channel, it'd really help, guys. But now that we got all that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. I am getting all this information that I'm telling you guys from msf.gg, so if you guys want to follow along, I'll leave a link in the description below. Also, I went ahead and created timestamps so you can jump to any point of this video. And a quick reminder, I do have a link to my infographic in the description, so if you guys want to download that and take a look, you can. To break it down, there's going to be 16 nodes in this new Dark Dimension, and for every 4 nodes, the trait's going to change. So the first 4 is going to be any character, the next 4 is going to be global character, the 4 after that is going to be cosmic character, and the last 4 is going to be city. So what I did is I broke these down into phases. So we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and I'm just going to break down every single one of these phases one by one. So let's start with phase 1. Phase 1, I chose Ultron, Minerva, Invisible Woman, Star-Lord, Nick Fury, Shuri, Groot, and Mr. Sinister. You can use any character, but you want to make sure that you're bringing characters that you can reuse down the road in the other phases. I'm going to quickly break down individually why I brought every single one of these characters, starting with Ultron. Now Ultron, of course, he's from Fear the Darkness, the first round, so you know you have to bring him. He's a great character. I shouldn't have to explain his kit at this point. He is a global character, so you can reuse him in phase 2, and this guy is super important just to get through those nodes. It's gonna be a cakewalk for you guys, so if you guys do not have this character maxed out, you really should. All right, next on our list is Minerva. Now Minerva is pretty self-explanatory. She's a great character. She has bleeds, she has regens, she's redistributing a bunch of health, she has an awesome kit, and she's a cosmic character. I highly recommend you guys get your Minerva all the way maxed out as soon as possible. She's so important for so many different game modes. All right, next on this list is Invisible Woman, and Invisible Woman is stupid broken, guys. Her special Bending Light, it clears 2 negative effects, it applies defense up for 2 turns, stealth, deflect, immunity, and it does so many positive things. Her ultimate, it applies offense up for 2 turns, and it gives out 40% barrier to everyone. On her passive, she's always going to attack someone who attacks a character with barrier. So you see, guys, she's really good, and she's also cosmic, so you can use her again in phase 3. I don't have my Invisible Woman yet, but I have the tools to unlock her, so as soon as her event comes back, I'm getting her. Next on this list is Star-Lord. Star-Lord's really strong, guys. His ultimate is going to do lots of damage. His special is going to hand out energy and blind up to 3 characters. His passive is going to hand out more energy, and for that final spot, I put Nick Fury. Nick Fury is a really strong character. His ultimate, he's going to call on some summons. His special is going to spread all those positive effects. He has a really good passive for himself. And the last 3 spots on the list are alternatives. I'm going to go over them real quick. We have Shuri. Shuri is a really good healer. She's going to keep your team healthy for a long time. She's given herself a bunch of health. Now, I don't think her passive is going to help her really too much in this node, but I think she's really strong for the team. If you guys have a really good Shuri, then you guys can bring your Shuri. Next on this list is Groot. Now, Groot is going to clear a whole bunch of negative effects. He's going to give everyone defense up and death proof. He's going to come back alive, and he's going to give positive effects when he dies. So he's a really strong character. Highly recommend. And last but not least is Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is really good. He's going to give you the opportunity to do a clone on any character that you want. Of course, on the special, he's going to give out some regeneration and some health. and he's really strong, guys. He's one of those characters that just came into the game. He's already making a difference. All right, before we jump into the next phase, I want to break down this team and how it works. So the whole point of this team is to keep Ultron alive as long as possible. You want him to keep summoning as many minions as possible. You want him to keep doing what Ultron does. Star-Lord's gonna be next to Minerva, feeding her energy. Minerva, you want her to keep doing her ultimate as many times as possible. And Invisible Woman and Nick Fury are there to keep the team nice and healthy, on defense up, spread positive effect. Now that we're all done with phase 1, let's jump into phase 2. Alright guys, now that we're in phase 2, I'm not going to break down every single character unless I have not done so yet. Phase 2 requires global characters, and the characters I've hand selected are Ultron, Mr. Sinister, Nick Fury, Vision, Scientist Supreme, and Shuri. Vision is an awesome character, one of my favorite characters. His basic can apply offense down to 3 characters, plus it's going to apply bleed to tech. His special is going to apply ability block to the primary target and adjacent target. And on his ultimate, he's going to clear 2 positive effects from the opposing team. Vision is just a really good character. I highly recommend you guys power your Vision up as soon as possible. Last but not least, we got to talk about Scientist Supreme. Scientist Supreme is rising in the meta. She's really good. Now, if you guys are doing Ultimate 7 every day, then you guys know how strong she can be. She's probably one of the top 5 characters for that raid alone. Passive, she has a 25 chance to revive anyone on the team. Special, just flipping a whole bunch of negative effects into positive effects and handing out regeneration. Even her basic is applying 2 random negative effects. So she is a really strong single character, guys. Power up your Scientist Supreme, because you don't only need her for the raids, you need her for this as well. And last on this list is Shuri. Shuri is awesome. Like I said, she's a great healer. And how this team works is keep Ultron alive as long as possible. Have him keep summoning minions over and over again. I mean, Ultron really gets to train rolling, so you really want to use them as much as you can. 3 of the 5 characters on this team are tech heavy, so you have a tech advantage here. Mr. Sinister is there to clone whoever you guys need at that time. So maybe if you guys need someone with a strong kit, you can clone someone with a good kit. If you guys need someone who's going to do a lot of damage, you can clone someone who can do a lot of damage. So Mr. Sinister has so many options. Nick Fury's there to spread positive effects. And Vision, he's there to control the battle as much as possible. Scientist Supreme is there to heal. And of course, Shuri, same thing. And now it's time to jump into phase 3. All right, guys, now it's time to talk about phase 3. Now, phase 3 requires cosmic characters. I'm actually really excited to talk about this phase alone because cosmic characters are good. You got characters like Captain Marvel, Thanos, Groot, Star-Lord, Invisible Woman, and Minerva. So right off the bat, you got really good characters in this phase. I've already talked about Minerva, Invisible Woman, Star-Lord, and Groot, so I'm going to break down Thanos and Captain Marvel. And let's start with Thanos. Now, Thanos is a really good tank, I would say. He used to be really great, and I feel like he's fallen off a little bit, but he's still pretty good. On his passive, he's going to give energy to a cosmic adjacent ally. On his ultimate, he's going to do an AoE that gets some drain, so he's going to go right back to full. And his special is going to attack you and taunt, and he gets a whole bunch of resistance. So he's a good tank. He's fallen off a little bit, but I do like my Thanos. I have one at 5 red, so he's probably one of my better tanks. It doesn't mean he's great. He's good. Now it's time to talk about Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is so good, you guys. If you guys do not have your Captain Marvel maxed out, stop what you're doing and power up your Captain Marvel now. All right, guys, now that you're back, Captain Marvel is really good. I'm going to break down her kit, but it works like this. She has this binary mode. Every single time she gets a turn, she stacks up a charge. When she finally does her ultimate, it does a big attack to a single damage target, but she also does like splash damage. It does a little bit of AoE to everyone. Her passive, when she's in binary mode, she gets damage, she gets armor, she gets focus, resistance. It's just really good passive. She's a really good character. Captain Marvel is really good for so many nodes, so really, you guys, power up your Captain Marvel. Phase 3, you have Minerva, and you want Minerva doing her ultimate as many times as possible. You want to apply as many bleeds as you can. You want regens. You got Star-Lord and you got Thanos, so you use those 2 as batteries. Just keep feeding energy to Minerva. Keep doing that ultimate over and over again, and this should be really easy. It should be a piece of cake. Invisible Woman's there to keep the team nice and healthy. Captain Marvel, if you guys want to do more damage, or Groot if you guys want to sustain a little bit, but this phase is probably one of the easiest. Now let's jump into phase 4. Alright guys, now it's time to talk about phase 4. Now phase 4 requires city characters, and this is probably the phase I'm least excited about. First off, I don't have a single city character at tier 12, tier 13. So trying to power up an entire team just for this is going to be really annoying, but you know, we have to do it. For this phase, I picked Jessica Jones, Miss Marvel, Luke Cage, Venom, Iron Fist and Mercenary Lieutenant. The first character we're going to talk about is Jessica Jones. Now, Jessica Jones is needed if you guys are going to take on this Fear the Darkness. She has that cleanse, which is really good. She's passing out energy to herself and everyone on the team. Her ultimate does really, really big damage. Plus, she gets a ton of resistance, and she's going to remove positive effects. On her passive, she's giving herself resistance. She's giving everyone resistance, which is pretty good. You can't forget about her basic. Her basic also gives out energy. So Jessica Jones is needed, guys. That's why I picked her. Now it's time to talk about Miss Marvel. Now, Miss Marvel is the character I'm most excited about. When it's time to power up these characters for this phase, I'm going to start with her. Her passive is really good. She's always giving out assists on the Brawler's Fist. Her special gives her a whole bunch of health, and her ultimate slaps everyone in the face and generates one ability energy. She's a really strong character. She's the reason why there is a hero brawler team. Next is Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage is a good tank. He's probably one of the best tanks in this group of city characters. On his ultimate, he's going to give everyone defense up. On his special, he's going to taunt and give himself a whole bunch of positive effects. He has a really good passive where he's giving himself more health. So Luke Cage is a good tank. He's like a brick. He doesn't move. Next up is Venom. Now, Venom is a weird choice. I know a lot of people might not pick their Venom. The reason why I picked Venom is because he has a healing factor. He clears positive effects. He has the ability block, and he's able to apply heal block and more negative effects on the opposing team. He's a really good standalone character. That's why I picked Venom. Next on this list is Iron Fist. Now, Iron Fist is a good character. He heals everyone that's a city hero character on his special and on his passive. His passive has a 60% chance of proccing, and when it does, it just gives a lot of health. And on his ultimate, he does a lot of damage and clears positive effects. Alright guys, the last character I picked on this list is Mercenary Lieutenant. Now, Mercenary Lieutenant is a good character. I wouldn't say he's the best out of the bunch, but I really like his passive. He has a chance to heal himself and another character on the team. Plus, on his special, he has a chance to give speed up and offense up to all the characters. And he's just a good character. I mean, you have to like Mercenary Lieutenant. Now, the way this team works is they just work. There's no way to get past these 4 nodes besides just playing. None of these characters are absolutely amazing characters. They're just all really good. But it's totally worth it to get to the finish line so you guys can get that new character in this Fear the Darkness. So alright guys, now is time for speculation. The character that I think is going to come to this new Fear the Darkness, you guys probably caught on when you looked at the infographic. It's going to be Dr. Doom. I really do think he's going to be the new entry into this Fear the Darkness. I might be wrong. I don't know, guys. I might be right. I would like to be right, but you never know. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. If you guys have a chance, if you can like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be really great. I'm trying to grow my subscriptions. Until next time, guys, Panther Vision out.